On this week's episode of Capital City Sports, the USC women's basketball team looks to make history at Colonial Life Arena. The baseball team continues its historic rivalry against Clemson. The men's basketball team takes on Kentucky at home, and Learning Sports with Daniel is back with a new segment. This is Capital City Sports. Hello, everybody, and welcome into this week's episode of Capital City Sports. I'm your host, Jeremy Urso. This past Thursday night, the USC women's basketball team took on Georgia in hopes of winning their first ever conference championship. Ryan Tolan was there, and we sent it to him with more information.
The Gamecocks women's basketball team entered tonight's game with a chance to win the SEC title outright for the first time in school history. With a crowd of nearly 12,500 on hand for the team's final home game of the season, the Gamecocks jumped out to an early lead and never looked back. Khadijah Sessions getting the Gamecocks hyped before the game, and look who was in attendance. President Harris Pastides enjoying the action. In the first half, Tiffany Mitchell gets the rebound and takes the length of the floor, putting on a nice spin move here and finishing to give the Gamecocks an early 14-7 lead. More from Mitchell here. She finishes with the sweet lefty layup, and boy was she on her way to a big day. The Gamecocks led at the half 30-18. Kagi showing off his ball skills during halftime. Georgia came out strong in the second half. Krista Donald fakes the handoff and finishes with the hoop in the harm. Dawn Staley urging her team on, and apparently Elena Coates got the memo. The highly touted freshman gets the putback here and the foul. Fans loving the action, but Georgia wouldn't go away easily. Shakoba Barbie with a three here to cut the Gamecocks lead to 51-41. But Mitchell has the answer. Anything you can do, I can do better, as she drains the triple here to salt the game away. And the celebration was on. The Gamecocks took this one and the SEC crown 67-56. Head coach Dawn Staley dancing with her players after the game. Staley can now add an SEC championship to her 3 gold medals as a player and a Hall of Fame induction this past year. And there it is, the team hosts the SEC championship trophy for the first time in school history. What a feeling that must be. Now the Gamecocks are currently projected as the #1 seed for the NCAA tournament, and a big reason why is sophomore guard Tiffany Mitchell. Mitchell saved her best for the game that mattered most. She scored a career-high 25 points, and along with freshman center Elena Coates, the two combined for 43 of the team's 67 points. The two stars, along with head coach Dawn Staley, talked about the win and what it means to be SEC champs after the game.
It feels great. I mean, the crowd, like I said, created this home court advantage for us all year, and I'm just glad we could win it on our court. You know, this is just the beginning for us. You know, we have a lot of season left in us, and including years to come. So I think this is a good place to start for us.
Well, I think it was a beautiful thing to see them rejoice because, you know, we've left this court with our heads down and tears running down our face because we were defeated. But to have the direct opposite emotion is tremendous. And, you know, I want our kids to enjoy the moment. I want our former players to see it and, you know that they had a hand in us getting to this point. And also wanted the people, the Gamecock Nation, to be a part of it. I think, you know, I saw them doing the wave. I heard them yelling SEC champs. And, you know, they painted a beautiful picture for us because I didn't know what it would look like to be SEC champions. To be SEC champions, I think they put us in a position to be able to compete with the rest of the country. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to do that.
The 26-2 Gamecocks will look to continue their storybook season as they travel to Knoxville to take on another top 10 foe in the Tennessee Volunteers this coming Sunday to wrap up the regular season. And I've got to tell you, it's got to be fun for head coach Dawn Staley and the team knowing they'll arrive in Knoxville as SEC champs for the first time in school history. From Colonial Life Arena, I'm Ryan Tolan, Capital City Sports.
The first round of the SEC tournament begins this Wednesday on March 5th. From women's basketball, we switch over to baseball, in which the team was ranked #3 in the nation. It did not allow a single run in its last 51 innings pitched. However, that streak would be tested as the Gamecocks played against the number 11 Clemson Tigers this past Friday at home. We take it to our colleague Austin Lewis to see if the Gamecocks could pull off the victory in Game 1 of the series.
On Friday, the premier college baseball rivalry in the country began its annual series. The number 3 South Carolina Gamecocks are taking on the 11th ranked Clemson Tigers. The Gamecocks were 7-0 heading into tonight's game. Let's see if they can pull out the win. Max Schrock starts off the first inning by getting on base and stealing second. This leads to Kyle Martin continuing his hot start to the season by stepping up to the plate and rifling a shot back up the middle to score Schrock. The Gamecocks lead 1-0. Clemson right fielder Steven Duggar leads off the top of the second inning with a single off of Jordan Montgomery. Weston Wilson, the Clemson third baseman, drives in Duggar with a single to left field with 2 outs in the inning to tie the game up at 1-1. Clemson loads the bases in the top of the 4th inning, which brings up shortstop Tyler Krieger, and he delivers for the Tigers with a double to the wall, which drives in 3 runs, making the score 4-1. Things wouldn't get any better for Jordan Montgomery to start the 5th inning, as he commits the error, leading to Duggar scoring, making the score 6-1. Montgomery would fight back in the 5th by striking out the side to end the inning, and keeping the score at 6-1. Which would be crucial by the end of the night. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Kyle Martin would stroke a single to right field, moving Joey Pancake over to second base. Connor Bright would walk to load the bases for Grayson Griner, putting the pressure on Daniel Gossett, the Clemson pitcher. Grayson Griner steps up to the plate and belts the ball over the left field wall. Shifting the momentum over to the Gamecocks, Griner and his teammates are pumped and would not look back. Cody Mincy would come in for Jordan Montgomery in the 6th inning and promptly throw 3 shutout innings. Here he is with a strikeout. The bottom of the 6th will be crucial for the Gamecocks, as Connor Bright scores Elliott Caldwell on a fielder's choice to tie the game at 6. Then the hero of the night, Grayson Griner, would drive in the 7th run to give the Gamecocks the lead on a single, making the score 7-6. Center fielder Tanner English would give the Gamecocks an insurance run in the bottom of the 7th inning, as he drives the ball deep to left, earning only his 2nd career home run, making the score 8-6. Joel Seddon would enter the 9th inning looking to pick up the save, and he promptly shuts down the Tigers, giving the Gamecocks the victory at 9-6. Here's the man of the night, Grayson Griner, after the game.
It was pretty special, but the most important thing is we got to win. Individually, I had a good game, but it wouldn't mean anything if we didn't get a win. That was the most important thing coming to today. We were able to get that first win in the series, and we're just looking forward to getting back out there tomorrow. Yeah, that's kind of the calling card for Carolina baseball. Just never give up. We still had plenty of at-bats there, and honestly, I think the turning point of the game was Jordan Montgomery. It was 6-1. I think there were runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. I think he struck out 3 straight guys. A lot of guys would crumble in that situation. They wouldn't want to be on the bump, but he wanted to be out there, and that just shows Jordan's character. Getting those 3 big outs, even if they put a ball in play there at 7-1, 8-1, he kept it at 6-1, and we were able to get some runs there in the next half.
The Gamecocks move to 8-0, and for Capital City Sports, I'm Austin Lewis.
This past Saturday, the USC men's basketball team took on the very talented Kentucky Wildcats. Could the Gamecocks pull off the upset? Let's take a look at the highlight.
I'm here at the Colonial Life Arena where the Gamecocks took on number 17 Kentucky. Let's see how they fared tonight.
Coming into tonight, the Gamecocks have had a lot of trouble maintaining leads late in games, but could this finally be the night they pull it off and get a signature win for Frank Martin? To the first period we go. Michael Carrera with the 3, not something you normally see from him, but the Gamecocks will take it. Then Cauley Stein gets a huge block at one end, and Aaron Harrison caps it off. Kentucky now up 4. He had 21 in the game. These two teams would go shot for shot the majority of the first half, but Darius Thornwell buries the second 3 of the game to put the Gamecocks up 31-28 at the half, and the atmosphere is absolutely electric in Colonial Life. Into the second half, and Michael Carrera throwing down a big-time alley-oop. Gamecocks now up 15. He finished with 11 points and 7 boards. Things not looking too great for the Wildcats at this point. Here's Calipari getting hit with his second technical, and he gets tossed from the game. Just when it looked like it was all over for Kentucky, they respond with a huge 3 here from Andrew Harrison to pull within 3. And then Kentucky capitalizes on a careless mistake and gives it to Julius Randle to pull within 1. So with 9 seconds to go, one last chance for Kentucky, but the shot is no good. The Gamecocks hold on to knock off number 17 Kentucky, a huge win for Frank Martin's program, and a truly special night for the senior Brenton Williams, who has been with this team through thick and thin. Here's what he had to say after the game.
It was I kind of almost blacked out. I'm like, it just really happened, and I'm just stomping around with thousands of students on top of me, and it was a great experience. It is something I would never, ever forget.
An amazing win by the Gamecocks tonight, the biggest win, no doubt, in the Coach Martin era so far, and it probably couldn't come at a better time because next up for the Gamecocks, they host number 1 Florida here at Colonial Life Arena. For Capital City Sports, I'm Blake Lipton.
Learning Sports with Daniel is back on CCS, and this week they're talking about basketball. We send it to Haley Anders and Daniel Shelley as they present you Learning Sports with Daniel.
Welcome into this week's episode of Learning Sports with Daniel. I'm Haley Anders.
And I'm Daniel Shelley. In this episode, we're learning the wonderful sport of basketball.
Daniel, I heard you might have some experience with basketball. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, not to brag, but I did play in kindergarten and 1st and 2nd grade over in Hawaii, so it was like more of a low-key team that a lot of you probably don't know of. It's been a few years, maybe 15. So to get back into the basketball spirit, I've spent all day watching sports movies, including Space Jam, Air Bud, The Luck of the Irish, and most importantly, Kazam, which really isn't a sports movie, but it has Shaq in it, so I felt like it was relevant.
We'll count it.
Yeah.
Well, in order to learn about basketball, we're going to head over to Strom, to the courts, and play around a little bit, and we're going to learn more about the sport of basketball. All right, Daniel, so what is a bounce pass?
A bounce pass is where you have the ball and you want to get it to your teammate, so you have to pass it to them, but you don't want to throw it to the air because then anyone can steal it. So then you can just bounce it on the ground to them.
Daniel, you are spot on. I'm going to have to come up with some really hard ones soon in order to trip you up. But first, let's go to another pass, the chest pass.
Kind of like a bounce pass where you don't bounce, but you are passing it to someone's chest.
Exactly. That's exactly what a chest pass is. You throw it from your chest and you're aiming for the other person's chest. Well done.
See, I told you, we used to do that in kindergarten all the time.
You're a pro at it. You're the chest pass master.
Probably.
You got an award for it. No. All right, next up is a free throw. What context does a free throw come in during the game? And what exactly is a free throw?
So a free throw happens after some sort of foul. Whoever was fouled upon or fouled against, I don't know. They have to stand at the top of the circly thing on the court, the free throw line, if you will, and everyone else stands on the sides like a parade, and you get 2 opportunities to throw it in to get some amount of points. That's not 3, because after that line is 3 points, but not in a free throw.
Okay, so you did get where a free throw is shot correct. Well done. The parade, we'll allow the parade, but sometimes a player only shoots 1 free throw, it's not necessarily 2 all the time.
Yeah.
But you're close. All right, on to the not so basics. Are
right.
you ready? First up, an alley-oop. What is your take on an alley-oop?
So it's where one person throws it and the other person catches it in the air and then they dunk it.
That is exactly correct. That is an alley-oop. Textbook definition, probably word for word, maybe not, but
Who's counting?
definitely. Okay, next, relatively easy one, a dunk.
A dunk is where your hands actually make contact with the rim and you slam it on in, sometimes called a slam dunk for the more hip people.
That is exactly what a dunk is. We would reenact a dunk, but we're gonna leave it to the professionals, i.e. 7th Woods.
I'm pretty sure I can make it. I'm like, what, 5'8"? Those hoops are easy to get to.
Put your thinking cap on, sir, because our next term is a toilet bowl.
I'm gonna assume that normal toilet bowls when you flush them, they spin and the water goes down. And it's a play, and it goes. You run around. Around. The ball goes around.
It's actually much simpler than that.
All right.
It's when the ball goes around the rim, like a toilet is flushing, and then goes in.
Bye-bye, ball.
But that was really good.
The toilet.
You know, in my mind, a toilet bowl is going to be a pass around from now on.
Yeah. When someone passes the ball around the team, you're going to be like, they just toilet bowled.
We should get that to Coach Frank Martin. He would love that play call.
Or Don Staley.
Absolutely. All right, next up, we have an outlet pass. What is an outlet pass?
Okay, so with an outlet, I'm either thinking two things. I'm thinking electrical outlet that you plug into when the ball goes out of bounds. So their outlet, then you're passing to the inlet.
Not exactly, Daniel. An outlet pass is actually when the rebounder throws the ball to another teammate in order for a fast break to occur.
Fast breaks, totally.
Yeah, like the candy bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kit Kat, fast breaks, rebounds,
The whole 9 yards.
sports.
All right, into our new segment of a little quiz for you, sir.
Quiz.
All right, first up, who won the NBA championship last year? Was it A, the San Antonio Spurs, B, the Los Angeles Lakers, C, the Houston Rockets, or D, the Miami Heat?
Okay, I was definitely thinking college, so I was gonna say Louisville, which they did win the March Madness, so I'm right there. But I feel like everyone hates the Heat, so I want to say the Heat.
The Heat did win the championship last year. 1 point for Daniel.
What?
Next up, who is the most winningest coach in college basketball?
Don Staley?
No.
Do I not get options?
No.
No. Fun fact, I'm related to a basketball coach somewhere, I think. Don't remember his name, but he's like my grandpa's uncle, so I don't think it's him. I don't even know any basketball coaches, so I'm gonna just take a 0 for this one.
Okay, well it is Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski.
Sure.
Do you know what team he coaches?
Yeah.
This is college. Think
Oh, college.
ACC.
That's Clemson. And others.
It's definitely not Clemson.
Oh, wait.
Clemson.
Wait, no. What? No, Clemson's in the ACC,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. But then, no, not their basketball team. ACC. We don't play them, so I don't know any of their teams. Let's go state-wise. Kentucky.
No, Duke.
Oh, yeah, duh. Duke's good at basketball.
Coach K is the most winningest coach in college basketball. He's got 903 wins.
Oh. It's a lot.
Okay, Daniel, last question. Are you ready? It's 1-1.
Exactly.
Okay, if you can get this, you win all the marbles. There really aren't any marbles.
What?
What Kardashian married Lamar Odom?
Oh. Chloe.
Yeah!
Good
Daniel
for Daniel.
wins the quiz.
Basketball genius right
Absolutely.
here. All-star, Steve Nash.
Yep.
Was he basketball?
Yep.
I told you.
This kid's on fire. We've taught Daniel so much today. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Learning Sports with Daniel. I'm Haley Anders.
And I'm Daniel Shelley. Tune in next time when Katie Davis teaches me all about America's favorite pastime, baseball, and watch me knock it out of the park.
Although March is here and spring is just around the corner, we send it to executive producer Pat Cloney, who has our top cock plays for the month of February.
February may be the shortest month on the calendar, but it sure doesn't lack in its big-time sports moments. The Super Bowl, Sochi Olympics, and the opening days of spring training all fit into this 28-day period. And USC had its fair share of gold medal performances too. Here are the 5 plays we thought worthy to be called the top cock plays from February. At number 5, it's baseball against Bucknell with a soft liner up the middle, and here comes Marcus Mooney with the bare hand grab and throw to first for the out. Saddle up for number 4, we've got a little horseplay. Gotta give some credit to the equestrian team, number 1 in the nation for 13 straight weeks. Here Alexa Anthony jumps the fences with ease. She and the Gamecocks have really grabbed the reins in the SEC. Number 3, Gamecocks, Tigers, Griner. And you knew it the moment it left the bat. Grand slam over the left field wall, putting USC right back in it, and Grayson was pumped. South Carolina goes on to win 9-6. Anyone got a broom? Number 2 coming at you from Upset City, or should I say Lob City. Sindarius Thornwell with the alley-oop to Michael Carrera, and later it's Brenton Williams in the corner off transition. The fans got antsy in the final seconds, and the players could feel it too. No amount of rope was keeping them off the court on this night. Gamecocks upset Kentucky, 72-67. And who else at number 1? A tribute to the first Gamecock basketball SEC regular season title. Elena Coates, Alicia Welch, Tiffany Mitchell, and the rest of the women's squad. As the clock ran down, they could feel it coming. A huge moment for Dawn Staley's program. She embraces her stars at midcourt after the buzzer, and these ladies truly are. There were plenty more plays that could fit this upper tier of Gamecock moments, especially the baseball team's amazing come-from-behind victory at Clemson yesterday. Unfortunately, our Palmetto State Expedition team of Katie Davis and Haley Anders wasn't able to make it back from Doug Kingsmore in time to be included in this week's episode. But if you think we missed anything else, tweet at us at CCS on SGTV, #TopCockPlays. And if you see anything in the coming weeks that you think should be included in the March edition of Top Cock Plays, let us know that too. For Capital City Sports, I'm Pat Cloney. Let's send it back to Jeremy Urso.
That's going to be it for this week's episode of Capital City Sports. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at CCS on SGTV. From all of us here at CCS, we thank you for watching.